We're going to court with these individuals and hold them accountable.
The suspects are now facing charges of capital murder.
Jocelyn was a fighter. She fought hard, and she needs justice. She didn't deserve this, and she needs to be rested at peace. They took away my firstborn. I was a teen mom. She's who helped me grow, mature. They took every opportunity away from me, from our family.
I want to reach out to the court system, the justice system. We're going to be watching you. The arrest has taken place. The charges have been filed. Now we want the justice system to do its job.
I hope the universe gives them what they deserve.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us at 6. I'm Corley Peel.
And I'm Bryce Newberry. We start the news live at 6 in North Houston this evening following the tragic murder of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray.
And we have been following each step of this case all week long. And today, police have announced that 2 men are now charged with capital murder. And Houston police have now identified those men as Johan Rango Martinez and Franklin Pena Ramos. Both of those men are in their 20s.
And this is the area off of Rankin Road where Jocelyn's body was found early Monday morning. We do have a live picture tonight where you can see there's a growing memorial just across the street from us here. Loved ones have left flowers and balloons on the creek bank over there, and all of it is to honor this young girl who tragically lost her young life.
And this is a parent's worst nightmare. Bryce, I have been in contact with Jocelyn's mother today. I was on the phone with her while she was at the funeral home making funeral arrangements for her 12-year-old daughter. She told me that she is so grateful that the 2 men wanted in this case are now behind bars. And this has been a huge impact on her family and this entire community.
And there have been a lot of updates on this case today. Again, those 2 men charged now with capital murder. And we brought you the news conference from HPD investigators live on the KPRC 2+ live stream earlier this afternoon. Investigators thanked this community for rallying behind Jocelyn and her family to help them get answers tonight. This is everything we know so far in this case. These 2 men are now charged with capital murder in the death of 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungaray. Only KPRC 2's cameras captured a large law enforcement presence as investigators arrested them early Thursday at an apartment about a half-mile from this creek, where her body was found strangled to death early Monday.
We were able to find video and trace the movements of our suspects and of Jocelyn, and all the way to the point of where she was murdered.
Tips from the community combined with old-fashioned police work led to their capture. Investigators say they have only lived in the area for a matter of months or less.
It's the totality of every piece of the evidence together.
After the suspects visited a restaurant in the Northborough district, they are seen meeting Jocelyn on Kirkendall Road.
The suspects and the victim walked together to a convenience store, and those images were also released to you guys and the public. After a few minutes, all 3 together walked to a bridge where ultimately Jocelyn was murdered.
The interaction transpired over 3 or 4 hours. Investigators believe just hours after they say she snuck out of her mom's nearby apartment Sunday night. Billie Jean Jackson drove by the bridge Monday morning.
I just happened to look and she was there. I thought it was a mannequin. It's not something you expect to see anywhere.
She called 911. This surveillance video shows the first fire truck arriving on scene. The medical examiner's office ruled Jocelyn's cause of death strangulation on Tuesday. Investigators are still determining what else may have happened to her.
It was a horrible scene.
It doesn't get any worse. It's sad. It's outrageous, makes you angry.
Mayor John Whitmire joined HPD for the second public update on the case, now calling on the justice system to hold the accused killers accountable.
If there was ever a circumstance where you do not give someone bail, this is it.
And tonight there are still a lot of parts of this investigation that are underway. One aspect is the digital communications. Investigators say they are still going through all of that information on the suspect's phones as well as Jocelyn's phone to find out if they had any sort of communication prior to that meeting in the overnight hours Sunday into Monday morning. And sources have told KPRC2 investigates that these suspects are Venezuelan nationals, that they have only been in the country for less than a month. Tonight, HPD officially confirming that federal investigators are now looking into their immigration status.
Yeah, still a lot to unpack here, but we first alerted you about these two men and their arrest on our Click to Houston app with a push alert. Take a look at this video. This is our exclusive video that we got earlier this morning, moments as the two men were being placed in handcuffs. And this arrest happened at an apartment complex about a half-mile away from where Jocelyn's body was found.
So really close. I mean, this neighborhood, people have been buzzing about it. We've been out here every day this week talking about this. That tip came into our newsroom around 6:30 or so this morning, and then photojournalist Roger Franco found the scene as it all unfolded to capture this video. And then by 7:50 this morning, we had word from the scene that they were in custody. HPD putting out that update just a few minutes later.
That's right, and I called Jocelyn's mother right away, letting her know, asking her if she had heard anything. She said she was so grateful that she did find out about that arrest, but she also told me that that apartment complex where the men were arrested, she doesn't live there. Jocelyn doesn't live there either. They live at apartment complex 5 minutes away from there, but she says this all still hits too close to home.
So hard.
Yesterday, Jocelyn Nungaray gave a tearful plea for information about two men wanted in connection to her 12-year-old daughter's murder.
12. I want justice. I want them to come forward. I want whoever has seen them, please just, you took my baby away.
Less than 24 hours later, her prayers were answered. I spoke with her on the phone hours after KPRC2 got this exclusive video of Franklin Jose Pena Ramos and Johan Jose Rangel Martinez as they were both taken into custody.
It's been like an overwhelming, relief to hear that they've been caught and they're off the streets, and it feels great that, everybody's been working so hard and so fast to get justice for my girl.
It appears Martinez changed his appearance. This surveillance photo HPD sent out earlier this week shows him in the white hat with a beard. During his arrest, he appears to no longer have facial hair. Have you seen them before?
I have never seen them before. I have no idea who they are. I think it was very cowardly of one of them to, try to alter his appearance to think that would make a difference. But the city of Houston is way stronger than these individuals, and we're going to give them what they deserve.
Neighbors at the Campbell Lake Apartments didn't seem to know much about the men. This neighbor asked to remain anonymous.
All I can say is they haven't been here long, maybe less than a month.
I knocked on the door where the men were believed to be staying, but no one answered. Now that they're in handcuffs, Nungaray says the journey to justice for Jocelyn is just beginning.
She doesn't have a voice no more, so I have to be her advocate and, have her be proud of me of how strong I'm being for her. I've always fought for her, and I will always fight for her.
And Jocelyn Nungaray tells me that she has no idea if her daughter knew the two men. Still a mystery there that's still being investigated, but just a heartbreaking way that she found out about her daughter's death. She told me that she had put her to bed around 10 o'clock that Sunday night. She wakes up to find that her daughter's missing, so she gets in her car, starts driving around this area. She starts pinging her phone, and then when she pings her phone, it's to that creek behind us, and she sees a crime scene. And about an hour later, she finds out that her daughter had been strangled to death.
Yeah, I mean, she initially said that when she got to that scene, there was just the crime scene tape everywhere. She wasn't even able to get close. The police wouldn't tell her anything at first until she was taken downtown for questioning. And you can just imagine the heartbreak for that mother. You can hear the desperation in her voice.
And we were also talking to some family members, too, throughout the week that they were still holding on that maybe that wasn't her.
That's
that
right.
Maybe it wasn't true. And now they're just dealing dealing with the unimaginable, and they say that they're going to be fighting for justice until they get it.
And we, of course, have been covering this story all week. We have a lot of our coverage right now at click2houston.com. You can get up to speed on every development in this case. But there is a lot more news to get to this evening. We want to check in now with Keith and Daniela.
Bryce, Corley, thank you. We do want to ask you guys, though, this arrest came pretty quickly after those surveillance videos and pictures were released. Bryce, I'll ask you this. Are these suspects cooperating with police? Are they talking at all?
According to the update we got from investigators earlier this afternoon, that is right. These suspects are cooperating. They've been in questioning today. Police tell us that they've actually been talking with them. But at this point, these suspects have not officially been booked into the Harris County Jail. That's one thing that we're still waiting for right now. That's when we'll get their mugshots, and then also any of the court documents. We haven't seen any of those.
Yeah,
and
those
of course,
have not come in yet.
That would be something that would provide a little more detail as to what happened or what investigators found in this.
Yeah, Bryce, Corley, this crime, it makes people angry. It makes you sad. It's something that's had a lot of impact on our entire Houston area. Have you been able to talk to the folks in the neighborhood? What kind of impact has it had there? Are parents, even kids, angry, upset, afraid?
Yeah, we have talked to a lot of people in this neighborhood, and a lot of the people that I've spoken with are parents, and they say this hits close to home because they have young ones around Jocelyn's age, and they're hugging them a little bit tighter tonight because of what's happened, and they just can't imagine what her mother might be going through. And I will say this too, a lot of people have been staying vigilant. They've been keeping an eye out for those two men. There's a lot of regulars in this area. It's very walkable. There's convenience stores and restaurants that people go to, and we actually spoke to a lot of witnesses too that actually saw Jocelyn and the two men that night, moments before she was killed, and they actually told me that she didn't appear to be in danger. She didn't look like she was in distress, that she was with people that she didn't know, so they didn't think anything of it. They didn't know that she might be in trouble. So that is definitely disheartening to hear, because they look back now thinking, if I knew, I would have said something, I would have called police. So it's just a matter of a reminder to stay vigilant. If you see something, even if it's late at night, you see a young person out and they're with adults and you don't know if they know each other, maybe question them or ask them questions about where they are, just to make sure that they're safe.
I just spoke with that gas station clerk who told us earlier in the week that she was a regular. I showed him the pictures of them being taken into custody, and it was a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the community definitely ended up coming together on this, but man, our thoughts and prayers are with that mother and that entire family and that neighborhood. All right, Corley, Bryce, thank you so much. And community, we certainly want you all to know that we have resources on how to talk to your kids about this horrific story. Plus, we are committed to bringing you all the latest that happens in this investigation. All you need to do is download our apps or go to click2houston.com to get alerted to every development. Plus, we have other in-depth content from a timeline of events to the mother's actual response at click2houston.com.